Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and we've had many questions coming in, so I thought I'll use Livestream to answer those questions, and then I'll do a proper video build when I do my builds and stuff. So far lots of questions about asking about an IT infrastructure. Guys just got into IT, wants to know a bit more detail. So this one particular, this question here, is from a guy called Red H. Well, he's called Red anyway, so that's what he's put his comment below anyway. So he's basically got 12 employees, and he wants to know whether he goes cloud base or get some hardware in and stick it in the office. Now, I do like cloud based, but then you're relying on a data connection in your office. So if it's down, you can't get to it, you can't work. You have to go and find somewhere else. So you are relying more like broadband or internet speeds to get to your cloud. Cloud can be quite slow because it's synchronized files, they're not live, and sharing files can be quite hard work. But if you're actually out and about a lot, and a lot of your employees are scattered around the world, then obviously cloud-based is a way to go. You can invest in like remote desktop solutions, so you have a full physical desktop still, so you can share files physically, but in the cloud you can do all that as well. But obviously it costs money. So if budget is tight, this is what my channel is all about. So budget's tight. So 12 employees, not massive, big. I've just taken over one at the moment currently. They had an IT guy, he messed them about a little bit. So I'm now going in, simplifying what they've been given. So if you spend too much on the server, you can obviously, it can cost money, and obviously there's lots of technical details you need to know about it as well. So keeping things nice and simple means cheap, easy to implement, less issues, and if you ever leave, someone else can take over reasonably quickly as well. So 12 employees, so you're running mixture of desktops, Macs, Windows. What I would do is the build I'm doing at the moment, just sat behind me here, is I just built a PC. That's quite a high spec PC, so I've spent about £1,000 on that. So you're talking about 8 cores, 32 gig of RAM, it's got inside. So you're talking about a serious piece of kit, but you can buy a small PC under £500 or less. Why do just people try and call me? Under £500 and less, and there's a product called Unraid, which is about $30–40. What I would do is get a small PC under £500, put at least 3 or 4 hard drives in there at least, a couple of SSD drives so you can boot off. 16 gig of RAM minimum, I would say, on that box. You can probably get that under for £500 or $500. I don't know what currency you guys are in. And you can stick Unraid on there, which basically boots off a memory stick key. So it boots off a tiny little key. And then you can then RAID all the volumes up. So you RAID your SSD drive together. So if you want to put VM virtual desktops on those, you can. And then the other volume I would leave for data access. And having 12 employees, as he said in his email, and they're running various different desktops, you can connect to that NAS from anything from Apple, Linux, Unix, PCs, any typical PC you got, you can connect to the drives on that. So I'll use that for file sharing for all your file sharing data, and it will handle that really well, and it's really quick on the local area network. So providing you've got your 12 employees all in the same building, or if you've got scattered throughout the building, but you've got an infrastructure for cabling there, fantastic. Unraid, NAS it up, away you go. So if you want to run a Microsoft Exchange server for emails, or you're happily using emails with Google Cloud or some other, then that's fine. I would leave that as is. But if you want to sort of start doing like calendar sharing and email sharing between each other and have control of your what you create, email aliases, things like that, then you can go Microsoft Exchange route. So as long as you've got a reasonable spec box like with Unraid on it, like I have here, you can create a Windows 2016 VM environment. You can then run the Exchange 2016 inside that. It's all web-based now, quite easy to set up. Point your domains at it, set your users up, and then they can open Outlook on all their normal workstations and connect to it, so you can have calendar sharing and things like that. So that's the way I would go. So very simple, under $500, or say under $600, say $500, depending on the hard drives you use and how big your hard drives. So you need to work out what your current hard drive or data you already have. How much does that amount to? So it amounts to less than a terabyte. Then I'll buy 4 1 terabyte hard drives in there, giving you around about 3 terabytes of storage for future proof. and that can be all done reasonably cheap as well. Unraid on, raid the drives up, gives you an instant NAS box. Again, I've got lots of videos coming out on Unraid at the moment. I'm actually currently videoing about how Unraid works, what it can do, because there's so much you can do to it as well. Off-site syncing with data, things like that. I've used little small NAS boxes. I've got little D-Links. I don't know if you guys can see this, but just there. Got these little D-Links boxes, and I've got one over there as well behind this box. Another D-Link NAS box. What I find that to be is a little bit sluggish and slow sometimes accessing, or it's quite messy when you access it from a PC. So that's why I went for Unraid. So Unraid is now a perfect solution for me and ideal for what I do. And I've actually installed one of these on a customer site last week. So it works really well for them as well. Then we're using some syncing software so we can sync data off of that onto another NAS, which is in how that one of the employees' home address. Does it over broadband. So again, keep things cost. Don't have to pay for backup support. Don't have to pay for somebody else to hold it onto for you. You can do it all yourself internally. A lot of MDs running small businesses tend to like to keep their data internally. They don't like always having it going off to the cloud somewhere where it's has all different sort of data protection acts and things like that. They like to keep things very much tight. So you can do that. So you can have one of these box built inside the office, having all the PCs connected to the NAS box for your shared access, nice and simple. If you've already got emails hosted, then fine, that's fine, leave that as it is. You don't have to put your workstations into any particular domain, so you don't have to worry about domain issues, Active Directory and things like that. You can just share straight away, nice and easy. And it makes it easy when you buy, when a new user comes on, just go and buy a new PC from wherever you buy your PC from, like in the UK, PC World, Currys, and you just literally power it all up, connect to the NAS box straight away. And simple, so keep really simple, really cheap as well, and that way. And you can use this as an off-site syncing as well. So if you follow a lot of my videos coming up very soon on Unraid, you can follow this one I've particularly done here. So this one here, let's get my camera off. So this one here, this is my new Unraid server, okay, and I've got 6 terabytes currently stored storage there. I'm going to go to 15 terabytes on this one here. So I've got two shared drives on there running all my media data. So I have media data for clients, media data for like B-roll footage and stuff. So I've separated it on folders, and I've got little Windows 7 VM running on this box as well, which acts as my sync data. So what it does, it takes any file changes on this Unraid, and if you look behind here, I can show you. So behind here, there's another little box there, which is my little NAS box. It's a little D-Link, also Western Digital, okay? And that software synchronises all the files on this box here and dumps them onto that box there as well. Then I have a pairing sync on here that runs off here, and it goes off to another location, and it synchronises that box there. So every file change I make on Unraid synchronises onto the Western Digital hard drive behind it. Then that syncs off site to another server. Again, I've got videos coming out very shortly on that, how all that actually works and how you can actually use it. So again, it's using very cheap hardware and doesn't have to be massively big. So the Unraid server here, because it's quite high spec, so I'm going to run quite a few VMs, and it's an experimental server as well. So I paid that £1,000, but that is because it's got lots of hardware and speed and RAM and big hard drives in it. Now that little Western Digital hard drive cost me about £400, including the 2 drives, because it comes with the chassis on its own is about £150. Adding the cost of 2 4 terabyte hard drives into it bumps up a little bit. Then that's a nice little backup box. And the other box I've got here that synchronises off site, which is one of them goes off site. Again, they're about 150 quid. Comes with 4 terabytes already installed. And then what you can do is activate the little apps within the boxes. Oh, sorry, clipping it back on my bench. Sorry about that. It's going to stay now, yeah. So under 50 quid, that's off site, and it pairs them together over the internet. So everything I save here saves on that box then saves off the other site. It's instantaneous, and it does it file changes one at a time. So if you make a file change straight away, that box got it, that box gets it, the other box syncs it off. It's instant, so you don't have to worry about huge bandwidth costs or whether your broadband's going to be fast enough. I mean, this is a standard broadband I got here itself, so it's nothing specifically fancy, just normal broadband. So I hope that answers your questions. So 12 employees, Mac, Windows, Unraid, talks to them all. You can set up user permissions on there, nice and easy, straightforward. Give them read access, hide it from somebody, straightforward. You know, no one will worry about learning Active Directory. You can actually run your CM on here as well, because this can run like Moodle, it can run WordPress, running this different plugins for Unraid. But again, we're going to cover that in another video as well. And it's going to cut down all your administration times and costs, because it's nice and easy to administrate it. Anybody can administrate this, quite straightforward. The menus are easy to navigate around, and it's all web-based anyway. So you can punch the firewall hole for this, and you can access this remotely as well, so you don't have to be on site to access this, to create file directories, user permissions, take users' details off. So long as you match the password and user ID on your workstation to the Unraid, it works perfectly straight through, nice and easy. So again, things kept simple and cheap to do. Yeah, kind of been in students, okay, customer service. So I'm just reading his email, actually I've covered everything basically. 12 employees, work, what goes to say? So it's a very simple, straightforward site, so you don't have to have all this large gear in. Could go cloud-based if you're not all based in the same location. If you are, keep things cheap, so don't, because cloud can be expensive, and you pay for the processing power you require or you need. And remote desktops, again, can be expensive. UK, you can pay between 30 and 40 pounds per user per month for a physical remote desktop. It can be expensive, but you can have all this by all those costs you would normally pay out, backup costs, hardware stuff you would need to get, paying for a remote desktop solution. You can buy the kit here. Very simple. Even if you've got an old PC that's reasonably got a high lot of RAM into it, and it's got, you can put some discs, bigger discs in it and stuff, you can still use Unraid on the old hardware, so you can revamp your old hardware and bring it to life a little bit as well. And then replacing the hard drives, I would always put SSD drives in this build plus normal drives as well. So if you do decide to stick a VM on this box to run something a bit more different, like I have here, then you can do that. But again, watch this video when it comes out and stay tuned. Any more questions, comment below, or Red, you've got my email address, just reply to me if you've got any more questions. So hopefully this answers all your questions. Cheers for watching, guys. Thank you.